A very, very warm, almost hot evening in Auckland. So today, again, Migrant Lives Matter. We last week, as you know, we discussed the issues around overstairs, and then we had a guest speaker who was talking about an overstair that he's related to. So our theme of Migrant Lives Matter continues. So today, we'll be talking about our upcoming event on 18th of December, which is a Saturday, and it also happens to be the International Migrants Day. So that's what we'll be discussing, and also the event on 18th of December. The migrants who are stranded offshore, our brothers and sisters in India, they have announced a protest on that day. So we will also be protesting, rallying, getting together on that same day. Obviously, we'll be earlier than they are. We did at one point think if we could do it at the same time as well, but the time difference between the two countries is such that it won't be possible. So we'll do our event first, most likely Saturday afternoon on 18th of December, and then I guess we can still reach out to them via technology while they are protesting over there in India. So today I have with me on this live stream Sher Singh from Migrant Rights Network New Zealand. So just give me 1 second while I share this live stream on the group Migrant Workers Association, and then I will be right with Sher. So, okay, here we go. So, Sher, welcome to today's live stream, and thanks for taking time out once again.
Anji, kia ora, namaste, assalamu alaikum, or pyar bhari sat sri akal to everyone. Or thank you, Anu Didi, for having me on the show once again. And yes, I know we haven't had a discussion for quite some time, but it is very important now that we're in the red light and some of the restrictions have eased due to this COVID, and I think that we should plan for our brothers and sisters who are stuck offshore, and for those migrants who are onshore and missed out on the one-off permanent residency
visa. Yeah, absolutely. It's about time, and we've been doing lots of work behind the scenes, whether it's lawsuits and preparing for those, whether it's petitions, hearings, submissions. There are two submissions to be made, like the ones by the end of this month for the Productivity Commission, and another one in February next year for migrant exploitation. So a lot of work going on, and then we do kind of consult each other, discuss with each other, and also people, migrants who are stuck offshore or migrants here, people don't stop contacting us all the time. I'm sure you find that as well, Sher.
Yep.
How's that been for you, people contacting?
Yeah, it's been quite stressful because, there's a lot, even onshore migrants, they've been contacting me and saying, oh, why have you guys gone silent? And I just, all I did was assured them that, look, we're not silent. There's a lot of work happening behind the scenes, but our hands are tied because of the COVID restrictions. And also those who are stuck offshore on a daily basis, I get contacted, audio sent to me where there's parents just supporting those who are stuck offshore now, and they've just I don't know, they're going through so much, and it's sad to see the situation that they're in, because they have no other options and they've lost everything. And I think that now, even we do have restrictions now at the moment, however, as soon as the restrictions ease, I think we need to become a pressure on the government about these offshore migrants and those migrants who missed out on the pathway to residency. One of residents.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's split families who need to be reunited. So yeah, that's another group. And
Yep.
today is actually quite a big day because the lawsuit that a university professor here had filed against the immigration minister. So
Yes.
this is his partner is in China, and because they are a same-sex relationship and they can't live together in China,
Mm-hmm.
and they won't give the visa to his partner so that he can come here and they can live together. So that professor had, and there's one other applicant in there as well. So it was the first hearing for that case today. So yeah, so I also have been working alongside the lawyers and other advisors. So yeah, a lot of work going on. So yeah, you're right. We've not just been sitting here doing nothing. It's just that the restrictions. I mean, we you and I could quite easily break those restrictions and probably deal with the consequences, but people who are on temporary visas, we don't want them to be in a breach of their visa conditions because they'll if they break the COVID regulations. So that's the biggest reason why we've not been taking to the streets, because
And
yeah.
yeah, and also the local public, we don't want them to think negative about the migrant community, because it's just gonna have you we've seen in the past where these rallies that are happening, these protests that are happening for the vaccinations.
Yeah.
There's a lot, there's a group of thousands of people that are going doing these marches, but then they're paying the consequences. There's been charges laid, and some people are supporting it and a lot of people go against it, but we cannot afford the locals going against the migrant community. We
Yeah.
cannot afford that.
Exactly. So the idea by doing a protest or doing a march is to highlight the issues that migrants face to the wider community, to all New Zealanders, so that they can be on our side. So exactly right. So when we go and break those COVID restrictions, we will mostly have people going against us and not on our side. So it kind of defeats the purpose of doing a protest.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, right. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we do have an event that will be held on 18th of December, which is a Saturday. So not this Saturday, the one following. Like I said, our brothers and sisters in India who are stranded and stuck out of New Zealand still, they will be protesting on that day. So in solidarity with them, and also to raise the voice once again for people who are onshore, whether they've been left out of the residence visa 2021 or they are partners or children of other family members who are separated from them offshore. We will once again be raising that voice. So we've haven't finalized the venue or the time yet. Once again, maybe share if you want to talk to what kind of limitations we are having to take into consideration here before we kind of finalize all of that.
Yeah, because we're in red, we can only have up to 100, but like we discussed before this, that we can work around it. I find that we need an open area, which is Victoria Park Market.
Possibly,
We
yeah.
could,
Possibly,
we
yes.
could
Yeah.
hold it there, and also, or have an area where people just come and how they have the drive-through, but we have a walk-through where they come and put their posters forward. And yeah, something like that. But then there is an announcement that's going to be made on the 15th.
15th, yeah, about the Auckland border. So it'll be interesting to see whether they bring us down to Orange. Yeah, if they do, that would be really good.
If they bring it down to Orange, then there's no restriction
on numbers.
We would just have our normal protest or a march.
Yeah. I guess we would still encourage. We would want people to be masked up still, and double vaxxed. So that is the condition for all these, for gatherings. Even with the 100 at the moment, people must be fully vaxxed and they must wear a mask and be 1 meter physical distance. Yeah, when they're outdoors. So yeah, yeah. I guess I would also welcome for people to make suggestions. Yeah, if anyone's got any creative ideas, they're welcome to share those with us. They can write them in the comments here, or they can, after this live stream, they can get in touch with either one of us.
Mm.
So yeah, um,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've got quite some time to work through
Mm,
ideas,
mm, mm,
but
mm.
I think we should our priority should be to confirm the venue,
Yeah,
and then from there we can take on um, because even if we go into yellow, we can have a huge gathering at Victoria Park Market,
yeah, yeah,
and if we don't, but then we can have up to 100 who 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 can attend the protest. But then if there's if there's an if there's more numbers, then they can come through and drop off their messages,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
or even have a vigil or something, or a
Yes.
candle, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We will. So in the next day or two, we will be working as a team and finalizing this.
mm-hmm.
And we are hoping that we can have a poster ready by the weekend, before the weekend, so we can start sharing and spreading the word as well. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I just wanna assure everyone that look, we always have and always will be supporting the migrant community. And yes, and I've been, going through Facebook posts, and there are people out there that are saying, oh, they've forgotten about us. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
let you guys know that no, we have not forgotten about you. It's just because of these COVID restrictions, we could not hold any march or any protest. But because of this new, what is it, traffic light system,
Yeah.
that we be planning this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just this is a start. It's just, as the restrictions get eased, we will keep protesting, keep campaigning,
Yeah.
and build as much pressure as we
Mm.
can. And we can't do it alone. We need everyone,
Yeah.
those migrants who are onshore,
Mm.
even those migrants who have um, benefited from the announcement. We need
Yeah.
their support. We need you to
Absolutely.
come forward and stand for our brothers and sisters who are stuck offshore, and those brothers and sisters who are onshore and that missed out from the announcement.
Absolutely, that is absolutely right. And in the last week or so, there are so many positive messages on many groups where people who were eligible for the residence visa 21 in phase one,
Mm.
I saw so many people actually sharing their visas. Like, I applied on 1st of December, got it same day, or applied on the second.
5 hours. I got
Yeah,
it
yeah.
within 5 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Despite the website sort of going down with the overload of the number of applications, I
Mm.
mean, yeah, INZ knew this was coming, so they should have prepared. But anyway, yeah, we are quite. I mean, I am just over the moon for those people who've gotten their residence. But like Cher says, now is the time to come and stand alongside those who are not fortunate enough to be eligible for that residence. Especially those who are stuck offshore.
Mm.
They can't be, yeah, they can't speak for themselves here in NZ. While there's a group who's done several protests, and
Mm.
the last one was like they were there for 4 days in a row.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they
4 days.
just, yeah, sat there. So yeah, that's quite a quite an effort. So we need to understand our responsibility here, that we need to be the voice for those people here in Aotearoa.
I was talking to one brother this morning, and he said to me that he's applying in March, and he's eligible, under the category. But he was saying to me, I was just putting myself in the shoes of those migrants who are stuck offshore.
Yeah.
He said, I was just trying to imagine if I had gone to India,
Hmm.
or for a funeral to visit my loved ones, and I got stuck there. I would his whole life career would have been finished.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
he's assured me that yes, we will, regardless of whatever we have a protest, we have a
Yeah.
vigil, whatever we do, he will definitely support us.
Good.
And that's the initiative we want. That's the
Yeah.
sort of thinking I want from every migrant who has benefited from this announcement.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm just going through the comments here. There's a comment from Nafiz Ahmed, but still restriction same as level 2. Yes. Just to give some background to other viewers, listeners who may not know, we've been holding off from having a gathering, a protest, a rally, because of the COVID-related restrictions, where we've not been allowed to gather, beyond a certain number. So we've been holding off, and we've also been requesting others to not go ahead and do this. So it's come to a point that we don't know how much longer this will go on. And also we're kind of hopeful that on 15th of December, when they announce the opening of the Auckland border, they may also announce that we go into orange. We don't know. But so what we are trying to do is we're trying to be creative, that we will still go ahead with our event on 18th of December, whether we're in red or orange, but we will just have to have a contingency plan that if we're still in red, our protest will need to make sure that we do not have more than 100 people gathering, and we will also have to have provisions in place to check people's vaccine passes. We will need to make sure that people have masks on, and not just mask around your chin, actually covering your nose. The number of people I see who have their masks hanging off their nose, it's like, is there any point, guys? So we will need to put a lot of effort into this to for the want of a better word, to police this, that we're actually following the rules. So we're not worried about ourselves as organizers getting into problems with the authorities. We are worried about temporary visa holders getting into problems should they be seen as breaching COVID conditions, which directly means that they're breaching their visa conditions. I hope, Nafiz Ahmed, that answers your question. And also, I know Nafiz has been one of the people who's been really, really motivated for us to organize a protest. So I hope that this will be good news for you, that we are going ahead and doing this, although this will be one of the most difficult protests I think we will have ever organized. That's the feeling I'm getting. It will be a lot of work to make sure that we all comply.
Yes, Didi, I just picked a point just as you were speaking, like, because you said this protest is going to be different, and this protest will need a lot of manpower. This protest will need a lot of volunteers to organize it according to the restrictions. To stay within the rules, we will need a lot of volunteers. So can those who are watching us, can you please share this video, get this message to everyone, and if you are willing to help on that day. For now, what we're asking or requesting everyone to do is hold 18th of December. And if you are available to help, please contact myself or Anu Didi. And say, look, I'm available to help organize the protest or help on the day, because we will need, like you said, we'll need people to scan the vaccination passes. We'll need somebody to count how many we've allowed in. We've reached 100. So we'll definitely need a lot of manpower.
Thank you, Bijal. She's already said I'll be there to help. Bijal is always there to help. Thank you very much.
She's always there. Thank you, sister. She's always there.
So and the other thing, if anybody is not double vaccinated, please make sure you get your second shot, or if you haven't got the first one yet, in that case I don't think you'll be coming to our protest, because you have to allow time period. Get your second jab between now and the 18th if you haven't already done that, because we will need to make sure that we don't hurt any of the temporary visa holders by breaching these rules. So we are obliged to do all these checks. If we're still in red, even if we are in orange, the condition is that the numbers, there's no restriction on numbers, but then we have to be double vaxxed and masked and physically distanced and all of that. Right, okay. Nafiz again, thank you for arranging this. We do have 2 protests, 16th and 20th. We planned from last month. I will be joining in your one as well. Thank you. Thank you very much, Nafiz. If you've already got protests going ahead, that's great. Excellent. That's very good. I think the more we can talk about these issues, the better it is, and the more we are in the public domain with our issues, the more pressure we hope is put on the government that way. So well done for organizing the 16th and the 20th. Those, I believe, would be weekdays. But we can look up where they are. Shubham Mahajam, sir, onshore ਦੀ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ already, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ late join ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ. So yeah guys, I think we have spoken about everyone, like people who are stranded offshore, people who have been left out of the residence visa 2021 because of on the wrong visa. Yeah, we have spoken. So maybe those who have joined us late, you will just need to wait until this live finishes and then go back to the beginning. I think that's what you'll need to do. Yeah. So
and
yeah.
Also, I just want to say that, look, now is anything is possible. I know, we I think to bring a change, the only way we can bring a change is to become a pressure on the government and the immigration. And it's a small tweak for those who are onshore, and also it's a small tweak for those who are offshore. And it's a simple fix. And if they can announce, if they can give residency to over 160,000 migrants, I think these small tweaks are not going to make any change. But it'll definitely have a huge positive change on those migrants who will receive the good news after we become a pressure on the government.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just to sort of go through what we are asking for in real terms, we're just saying, anyone who's been here 3 years or more, just let them apply for the residence visa 2021. Does not matter what visa they're on. Obviously, if someone's on a visitor visa, I'm thinking keep them out of it. But all other visas, they should allow them. Even people who are stuck offshore, it's an online application. Let them apply. Had they been here, they would have been able to apply. So people who were here 3 years or more but now are caught outside, they should be allowed. And then we are asking people who are stranded offshore, they should be brought back. So I know the government announced a few days ago that the borders will reopen. So from 30th of April next year onwards, people, so they're doing 3 phases. January, it will be people from Australia who are New Zealand citizens residents, and then February it's people from the rest of the world, New Zealand citizens residents, and some others who qualify, and then April is everyone else from all over the world. So a lot of visas have already expired for those who are stranded offshore, and many more will expire by 30th of April next year. So we are saying, like Australia has issued a special category of visa called replacement visa for people who are stranded offshore. But I studied that in detail. Their replacement visa is very narrow. I think it's only for certain, for I think students, I believe. So it's like giving them a post-study work visa if they would come and work in certain sectors. But we are saying, so the Green Party, and Ricardo is already onto this, we are saying that make it better than Australia. Just give everybody who's offshore and their visas expired, give them this replacement visa. Or before that, we were saying that extend their visas by the same duration that the border is closed. So it'll be about 2 years. So either way, that way people can come back. And then there's the separated families. There are New Zealand citizens, residents who have partners. Their partners are not from New Zealand, and they are in other countries, stuck there. And because those couples don't meet living together requirements, they're not considered as partners, and so their partners can't get visas and can't come here. So we're saying, reunite those people. So immigration will need to change their policy around that. And the living together requirement is very, very sort of narrow and strict. Muhammad Anas, we offshore stuck migrants are worried because 30th April is a long time, and by that time, if any other virus will come, what will happen? Yes, exactly. So this government needs to, if I keep saying this over and over again, if they had like a quota system in MIQ where 1 or 2% of the MIQ spaces were reserved for temporary visa holders, you would all be back here by now.
Exactly, exactly. We
Yeah.
I think we were suggesting this from our first protest
Yes. Yeah.
and the
From
first lockdown.
yeah, yeah, and the petition that we did, Pathways to Residency, one of the demands was bring back temporary visa holders just like you're bringing back citizens. So to
Mm,
do that, they would have had to, yeah, have a reservation or a quota in the MIQ space, because that's been used quite a lot, because of the COVID, because of the MIQ space shortage. We can't bring back non-citizens and non-residents. So yeah, we've always kind of provided ideas and solutions for the government to get around these things. And then, yeah, I think that those are the main things that we're talking about. And these are, like you said, Sher, they're easy fixes. They're simple things, and it will not, it's not rocket science, and it's not reinventing the wheel. So they can easily, fix this. And even with those who are stranded offshore, I mean, this government needs to say something.
mm.
It's the uncertainty that causes the trauma and the stress and the anxiety for the people. If you tell them, okay, this is what we're looking at, and maybe in so many months we will have XYZ, and then
Mm.
people will be reassured somewhat. So they've totally been silent. That's what the main problem is here as well.
That's what's causing all the frustration in the migrant community. It's just people have just put emails after emails. We've done protests, we've done so much, but yet they're still quiet. I just had a comment from Vivek Sharma, and
Mm-hmm.
he's saying, look, my visa expired today.
Yeah.
Today his visa's expired. So
Mm.
there's, even if they do announce something for these migrants who are stuck offshore, what about those who have whose visas have expired? What about them? They're missing out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. I've got some more comments. Andy Desai, are you guys confident they will make changes to their policy for separated family, or it's just a date that has been given and they will keep extending for years on? Um, we're as confident as we've ever been, and again, I'll probably sound like a broken record. I've been doing this for the last 10 years or more, being a campaigner and an activist. One thing I know for sure, if we don't say anything, if we don't take any action, then it's guaranteed 100% that things will not change.
mm,
That's for sure. And we've won battles. Yeah, they are battles. We won battles before. Deported students who were sent back to India. It was 3 years long, that campaign, and we were able to bring half of the students back. Half, like less than half. I suppose 11 were with us. We were able to bring 4 back, but 400 students were deported at that time. Had even 100 come forward with us, I think we
mm.
would have all of them back, or most of them. So again, our confidence and our success depends on you guys. We alone can't do this. So the
Exactly.
more of you come out, and the more of you speak about this, and the more of you attend these rallies and protests and meetings, and I know a lot of people have been signing petitions. The more of you keep writing to your MPs, the more of a difference we'll make. So that's the kind of confidence we have, and also, the way I take things when I'm campaigning for a cause is like, at least I can sleep easy at night because I know I've tried.
We've tried.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least we tried.
yeah, that's the main thing, that we've tried. We've not been just sitting there silently. So whether or not we're successful, that's another matter. How much are we trying? What are we doing? That's how I do these things. Yeah.
And also, Didi, there's one more thing to learn from this phase where, look, a lot of the migrant community have said, oh, look, you guys are gone dead silent. You guys are not doing anything. But this is exactly what happens, even without restrictions. When we're doing, there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, but people don't see it. But when we hold a march, we have a rally, everyone is aware of that. So this is exactly what happens, whether there's restrictions or not. when people do not participate in these sort of events, it's all hidden. There is work being done, but the public does not see it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's a saying, inside in mind. Until we do not come into their sight, we're not going to sit into their minds.
Mm-hmm.
We have to come forward, and you know, there's other way. Like I've seen, I saw a group that was doing a protest, a Zoom protest,
Yeah.
you know, recently, well, a few weeks ago, and then, but now that the day by day, if the restrictions are going to ease, I think we need to start preparing for it
Yeah.
now. And yes, we've got restrictions now, but we can work around that and
Yeah.
do our protests now.
Mm-hmm.
But once they drop or we go into yellow, we need everyone,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. We just need everyone, and that's the only time we can have a change or have another positive announcement made from the government.
Sure. Yeah. Andy, yeah, another point about confidence and, whether activism and campaigning brings about change. So, yeah, up to 165,000 people, migrants, are likely to get this residence visa. And,
Mm.
how did that happen? I think, where did that come from? So, we believe like about 1,000 of us marched earlier
Mm.
this year. And, if 1,000 people can bring about change for 165,000, just imagine if we'd had, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000 at that much.
Imagine what we would have. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, that's how change comes about. While we do acknowledge that, there are some people left behind and not everybody's been included in that, it's still a huge victory. It's a
Mm.
partial victory, but nevertheless, it is still a massive victory. So we can't get away from that. And we and many organizations with us have been working towards that. So
Mm.
we feel a sense of achievement. So I know people keep pulling us down, those who are not included. So I refuse to be not
Yeah.
allowed to celebrate that victory and feel the pride. So yeah, yeah.
You know, I wanna ask the migrant community, those who did not benefit, ask the ones that got benefit, ask them, how do you feel? And those who did get benefit from this announcement, you go and ask those who did not achieve anything from this
Mm,
announcement and ask them for their feeling.
yeah,
Only then they can start talking to one another, start sharing their feelings
mm,
rather than going against. And yes, it is a victory, and
yeah,
it was something to be celebrated about.
mm,
But then,
absolutely.
yeah, and
Yeah.
but hey, that's gone past now. But
Mm, mm,
let's work together and have another victory for those who missed out,
absolutely.
and
And
that can only happen with numbers.
exactly. Andy, the Saigon, I've been separated for 4 years now, even before COVID. A few more years of separation, I will either do something to myself or mentally go insane. We fully hear you. We understand your pain. But please, please, I think the important thing is keep sharing. Keep talking to
Mm.
others. There are unfortunately so many others in similar sort of situation to yourself. So I think, yeah, please share and keep talking. That definitely does help, and you won't feel alone. There are sadly others as well in the same situation, and when we talk about our problems, they say like a problem shared is problem halved. So
Mm.
yeah, please, please, please don't do anything like
Yeah.
that. Just yeah, reach out. You can talk to one of us. You can message one of us, and yeah, and we've actually now got at Migrant Workers Association, we've had to put in volunteers in place because we were getting so much contact that was kind of just responding to you guys, responding to your messages, your emails. That was stopping us from actually strategizing and organizing and putting together our next action and what have you. So we've got some volunteers who will just, you can talk to them, you can email them and share your problems. So yeah, we've had to do that because of, yeah, it's just, we should never had to do things like that.
Mm.
The system should be better, but unfortunately that's where we are at the moment. And lots of other messages. Yeah, Australia, people are using Australia as an example. Someone saying thank you very much. That's Ruchi. That people. Dear Sher Singh, you are union organizer at ETU Union, and that union is formed by Labour Party. Sher is no longer at ETU Union.
Mm.
In 2015, seriously, Labour Party is ignoring union appeal. And ETU are not really, as far as I know, I've not seen much coming from ETU in the way of supporting migrant rights and workers and what have you. So no, you're right, Dharia. There are some unions that are affiliated to the Labour Party, but then there are also unions who are not. Migrant Workers Association has been working with Unite Union. So Unite Union is not. There's another one, First Union is not. So there are many unions which are not affiliated to the Labour Party. So not all the unions are the same. If you have issues with ETU, I think you should directly raise them with ETU. You know.
I think go directly to them.
Yeah.
You have any issues, you go directly to ETU Union.
Jagdeep Dhillon International Migrant Day special event on 18th December 2021, Phase 8 Mohali morning. That's in Chandigarh, Punjab's capital. Join us for support. Yeah, definitely. As soon as I think there is an event, Facebook event going around as well. I will share that. Okay, so there's just more comments. So I'm thinking, Cher, maybe we should wrap up. And any final words that you want to share with everybody?
All I can say is that, look, we will definitely need everybody's support on this protest, and let's make it possible, and let's work on ideas. And if you have any ideas, you can either messenger myself or Anudidi, and let's start off. And then once the restrictions ease, we will have our big march. Hopefully, we will go into yellow by the 18th. If we do, we'll have a big march. Until then, we will work around these restrictions and keep within the limits, and try raising the voice of those migrants who missed out and those migrants who are stuck offshore.
Thank you very much, Cher, for taking time out. And yes, in the next day or two, we will organize, plan, and then have something published so that people know exactly what's going on. Thank you very much, and good evening.
Thank you very much, Didi. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks. So, friends, that was Sher Singh from Migrant Rights Network New Zealand. And like I said, we will share more details with you as soon as we've finalized our plans, because this is a tricky one. This is not like just any old protest or protest like we normally do. We're going to have lots of plans, contingency plans, that we don't breach any of the COVID restrictions or get anyone in trouble. Andy Desai, I've been hearing from people that if you can show that the purpose of travel for your partners is critical, they can still come. I have spoken to several lawyers and LIAs, but none of them have given me a option apart from going to India and trying to come back here. I don't know who to believe. Okay. Yes, Andy. Some of the lawyers, advisors in the field few of them that we campaign for change, and the case that I mentioned, the lawsuit against the minister, specifically around partnership requirements, and also about lapsing those thousands of visa applications earlier this year. The first hearing was today. Within that group, that's what I have learnt as well, that, unfortunately people are having to do these fly and fetch missions where the New Zealand-based partner, if they go and stay with their offshore partner for a couple of months, and that somehow seems to put pressure on the system, and then the visas are more likely to be issued. So that would be either a partnership-based visitor visa or a critical purpose visitor visa. So I know several cases where that has been successful, and that seems to be the only kind of way at the moment, unfortunately. And also, I also understand where you're coming from. I don't know who to believe, because as lawyers, advisors, we cannot guarantee you success. So if we can only try the best and hope for the best, because we are not the decision makers. INZ visa officers are. So from based on experience, most of us will know kind of what is more likely to work and what is less likely to work. And if anyone tells you, any lawyer or advisor tells you more than that, or gives you 100% guarantee a visa outcome, you should report them to either the licensing authority for immigration advisors or the law society, because no one is supposed to give you guaranteed outcomes in this line of work. Okay. Who else have we got? Gurnur Singh, they keep ignoring us. Well, yes, yeah. If we sit quietly and don't do anything about it, that suits them fine. It becomes easier for them to ignore us. So we must keep talking about this. Anu Didi, please raise voice for our overstay community as well. Yeah, absolutely. You will have seen in the news, and I've said this. Last week's live stream was just about overstayers. So today our topic is still about migrants, but slightly different categories. But that doesn't mean that we've forgotten you. That work is still ongoing. And in fact, we also got a short documentary in the making, where one of our migrant volunteers he's been at nearly all of our protests, so he's collected a lot of footage. He's quite a internationally renowned filmmaker, a friend from Chile. So he is working on this right now, and so he's also working with the Pacifica groups who have been specifically looking after the overstayers and calling for amnesty. So very soon, within the next few days, I hope, we will have an initial short sort of like a teaser, I suppose, and then subsequently we'll have the full documentary published very soon. So we will need kind of help there as well, because our volunteer, well, he's volunteered. We do want to make sure that people are looked after. So we will share that information with you guys very soon too. I'm just wondering if I've missed any comments. Okay, I am going to wrap up too. So please keep 18th of December, Saturday 18th of December, book it for an event for migrants, where we will be raising our voices once again for bringing the offshore migrants back, providing them extension of visas, or, that's what we'll be calling for, or whether it's a replacement visa like Australia has done. And then people on shore who have been here for like 3 years or more but have been excluded from the residence visa 2021, we'll be asking for that visa to be extended to all. And then families that remain separated due to crazy immigration instructions around living together and that sort of stuff, we'll be asking for those families to be reunited as well. And more details will be made public very, very soon. So within the team, we are still finalizing as to what this protest will look like and how we're going to do this. So we're hoping in the next day or two we'll be able to release more details. So please watch the space. And that is it from me for tonight. Good night, stay strong, stay safe, and stay united.